Courage and the boldness that you gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, thank you for joining. Where is the love? You have just tuned in to the show that talks about bullying versus love. Y'all, we got a show for y'all today. Check this out. But first, let me introduce myself. I am the host. I am Stephanie Hawken Hall, and I am introducing my co-host, Gene Williams, my son. Come on in, son. Let's do the doggone thing.
Hello, we are on the air.
Y'all, he is a robot.
Hello, good people.
Oh, Lord. Y'all, we enjoy bringing you content that is helpful to help you get through the bully's African verdict to him to a board. Mm-hmm. We enjoy bringing to you content that will help you make it through your bullying experiences and your negative experiences. That is what we are here for. Again, this show, where is the love? Where is the love when you're bullying others? There is none. Zero.
Salute none.
So y'all, today we're not even going to recap the last show. We are going to move straight on into the new show. Son, you want to add anything before I get started? Because I'm hyped.
Nah, I'm ready to go. Let's rock it.
All right, y'all, today we are going to be talking about nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication. Yes, you can communicate without saying a word. Your actions, your eyes, your body movements, your gestures, all of that is nonverbal. Guess what? You can bully people nonverbally too. Mm-hmm. There are so many different types of bullying, so many different types. But antisocial bullying, part of that is nonverbal body language, the definition. So this is the definition of antisocial bullying: shunning, excluding, gossiping, mimicking, spreading rumors, using offensive gestures. Didn't I just say that? And negative nonverbal body language. Yes, you can bully that way. So, something that I've done for many years is watch people's body language. When you're in a conversation with them and when there's a group of people in the room, I just watch people and I can tell, and I've been able to tell this for many years. Somebody walk up to somebody and start talking to them. I can tell by the person that they walked up on how they are received by their body language. Right. So you can tell when they really don't want to be bothered with them, when they don't want to talk to them, when they don't like them. And it's been crazy to me for years. And so going over this information and researching nonverbal communication just brought back some of those memories. You want to add anything?
No. Well, and also you can tell how the person came to the person they walked up to by the by not only their body language, but the body language of the person who encountered them. If they came Like even though the way they're walking, if they're walking aggressively, they're not
Oh
coming.
yeah.
It
ain't getting ready to be nice.
Right. You better say something that's not gonna be nice to you at all. You're gonna be a little upset. You may want to throw them things up on you. You ready to
Yep. You want to add something else?
Nah, I'm done. I just wanted to ask you for a second.
Well, you want to get right into it, or you want me to start?
I do. Yeah. All right. So again, we're talking about nonverbal communication. So nonverbal communication means conveying information without using words. This might involve using certain facial expressions or hand gestures to make a specific point. Or it could involve the use or non-use of eye contact, physical proximity, and other nonverbal cues to get a message across. And again, like we said, if you get up in a person's face or something of the sort, and aggressively walk up to them, that nonverbal communication means, all right, it's about to be a fight.
Right.
Words of fist.
Yep.
A substantial portion of our communication is nonverbal. In fact, some researchers suggest that the percentage of nonverbal communication is 4 times that of verbal communication, with 80% of what we communicate involving our actions and gestures versus only 20% being conveyed with the use of words.
Yep.
Nonverbal communication plays an important part in how we convey meaning and information to others, as well as how we interpret the actions of those around us. The most important thing to remember when looking at nonverbal behaviors is to consider the actions in groups. Consider what a person says verbally combined with their expressions, appearance, and tone of voice. And it can tell you a great deal about what that person is really trying to say. Yeah.
So I want to add something to that. Were you going to interject something?
Go ahead.
So what I wanted to say is, as you were reading, I was thinking about how many times have you watched somebody's approach to someone else and misread that person. Maybe they're getting ready to do this, or maybe they're getting ready to, say this or say that, by their actions, and you were wrong. Sometimes we can misread people, but nonverbal body language and communication, man, is so powerful. Sometimes, even when I'm talking to somebody and I mention somebody else's name or, mention something that happened, I can tell by their nonverbal communication how they receive what I said. So I can tell whether they like that person or they're, turned off by that person, or if they're disengaged. You're not even listening to me. I'm talking to you, but you somewhere else. So that's telling me you ain't listening to me.
Right.
And so that nonverbal communication can be hurtful, depending on, specifically if you're hurting and you're expressing your pain to somebody and they're not engaged, that can be very hurtful.
Right. And also a lot of times with communication, we oftentimes, like, you can tell when a person is hiding behind words, but their body language and even their tone is saying something different.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for us to be very honest about, what we're thinking and what we're feeling. Because again, your body language tells 80% of the equation. It's 80% of the conversation between only the verbal but the nonverbal. So you got 80% of the conversation that you're having with the person is based off of the way you're looking and the tone of voice and, how close you are, to them, how you're standing. You can be defensive with your arms. All right, that's defensive. All right.
Right.
So I might need to say certain things. I mean, all of that, plays into the equation. So it's very important to not only say what you mean, but, because your body's going to tell the story regardless of what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not upset. No, I'm not upset. Oh, yeah, you're upset. Everything you're doing, all this is aggressive. I need you to bring that down. Bring that down. Or these go up.
I like that. What you want? Make up your mind. What we doing? What we
It's
doing?
on you made the decision. As long as I know what you're doing, we doing the same thing. Probably.
Right.
Whoop, 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 whatever, man.
Oh man. Where are we?
Every day.
I do this all the time. I'm so glad you got me. Every day we respond to thousands of nonverbal cues and behaviors, including postures, facial expressions, eye gaze, gestures, and tone of voice. All of those are nonverbal nonverbal communication. I mean, all of those things tell me what's happening with you, from our handshakes to our hairstyles. Our nonverbal communication reveals who we are and impacts how we relate to other people.
Right.
What you got to say?
Yeah, I want to say when they said handshake. So I was out, my lady and I were out, you know what I'm talking about. We were out and, amongst friends celebrating one of her friends. And so we saw a mutual friend. I went over to speak to her. We happened to be talking about my earrings. She has the same thing. So, I was like, oh, those are dope, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So a guy walked up, and he's taller than me. He's about 6'3", 6'4". So he walked up. I was like, hey, brother, how you doing? And he tried to shake my hand extra aggressively. So I just lightly squeezed and then looked him in his eye like,
Right.
See you. Now sit down.
Right.
I was like, yeah, go ahead. So he sat down and I kept talking to her. He kind of looked at me like, I was like,
yeah, because you didn't scare me. You see, I could put some squeeze on it too, partner.
I'm greeting you nicely. I could break that hand if I wanted to. Crunch.
Oh, that's a trick.
Keisha didn't call me Bam Bam for no reason. You know what I mean?
And you just mentioned her name when you were reading about the handshake. So I had this.
Right.
Okay, so I was in a relationship. I'm trying to figure out how to word this for the TV. So I was in a relationship.
Okay.
And so Keisha met him for the first time. And this was the worst relationship that I had. Okay, let me come back. All right, so
reel it back in.
Yeah, let me reel it back in. So anyway, this was her first time meeting him. So he used to be in the Army. I'll add that. So what he did when he went to shake her hand is he, like this. And she said, what is that?
That's a real shake.
She said, right. She said, if that's how you gonna shake my hand, don't shake my hand no more. Like I'm raggedy. So handshakes, and that was in the beginning of the relationship. So I mean, the rest of the relationship told that story.
Right.
So it was horrible, but so my lady interest that was doing crochet was doing nonverbal communication. Saw that nonverbal communication during the NCAA tournaments. Listen, nonverbal body communication or nonverbal communication speaks loudly. Huh?
I was saying that's probably how they were greeting each other. They're about to play each other, so they bumping all hard. And we're gonna win. This is our game. No, right. Hey, right here.
Trying to intimidate.
Right.
But anyway, okay. So back to the show.
Really back in.
So facial expressions. Let's talk about facial expressions. Facial expressions are responsible for a huge portion of nonverbal communication. Consider how much information can be conveyed with a smile or a frown. The look on a person's face is often the first thing we see, even before we hear what they have to say. While nonverbal communication and behavior vary dramatically between cultures, the facial expressions for happiness, sadness, anger, and fear are similar throughout the world. I'm going to let you do this next part. You want to interject something?
No, I was going to say, also, like I noticed, and I think this comes back to awareness. A lot of times, people will have other things on their mind when they're communicating. So it's like they're there with you conveying a message, but their mind is somewhere else. So like the look on your face has nothing to do with the person you're actually talking to. You know what I mean? You'd be looking, angry or sad or whatever, but you're trying to convey a message to somebody else about something totally different. So it's, I think it's important not only with nonverbal communication to be quite aware, and I think that's, in essence what we're talking about, but yeah, being really aware and being present in the conversation that you're having, as opposed to, being mentally somewhere else, because you could be mad about something else. Man, listen, man, I love you, man.
Keep it.
Is there a butt behind that? It sounds like there's a butt. Hey, 50 feet. 50 feet. Step back about 3 steps. Just enough for me to, just in case. You never know.
Right.
You have to fight you tonight. You can't bounce like you a kangaroo and you about to. I don't know. I gotta get my feet. I gotta get my feet set. I don't know what we doing.
It tripped me out to see a kangaroo up on there when you was doing that. Right. It always trips me out to see them doing that, bouncing around on them 2 feet and like they fighting.
Like, wait, bro.
Right.